Shalom. Who's the Arizal? Why should we take him seriously? Well, I'm going to read to you from the original words of Rabbi Chaim Vital, his main student. And he was so against lying. He goes on and on how much he's against anything that's not true, any little bit. And he swears he saw these things. And other students of his as well saw it too, and many others living here in Tzfat. So let's talk about it. Before I say it, a little quick minor background about him. Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, the Arizal, was born in Jerusalem, and then at a young age he went to live in Egypt. When his father passed away with his uncle, and there he learned with great masters, and he became very, very high in the Torah and in his righteous, pure ways, to the point that Elijah the prophet revealed himself to him and taught him for years, and he became one of the greatest masters to ever live. And then he came to Tzfat here and revealed this knowledge of the Kabbalah and the secrets of it. And here we have it. Okay, let's see. Rabbi Chaim Vital is writing, saying about his master, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, the Arizal. Real quick to explain, what does Arizal stand for? It's an acronym in Hebrew for Eloki Rabbi Yitzchak, the divine Rabbi Yitzchak. Okay, so let's see what he says here. Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi Zal. So I'm just going to, instead of just saying all the Hebrew translation, I'm just going to tell you straight from the Hebrew into English. Save time. He was filled with the Torah. He mastered all the areas of the Torah. He knew it all. Kirimon, like a pomegranate. He knew all of the Tanakh. It's all of the written Torah, all the 24 books of the Bible. He knew it all very well. He knew all of the Mishnah, all of the oral tradition, Mishnah and Gemara, all of it very well. A total master of the oral tradition, all of the laws of the Torah, all the different laws very well. Pilpul, Midrashim, Haggadot, all the different stories, all the different areas in the Torah. All of the Kabbalah, mastered the wisdom of the Zohar, and to the point that he developed his own system of learning with Eliyahu Navi, Elijah the prophet. And he knew Maaseh Merkava, Maaseh Bereshit, the deepest secrets of the Kabbalah, of the secrets of all creation, how to alter reality, and how to go into the higher worlds. He was a master of all the speech of all of the plants and all of the trees. He could speak to them and would understand them completely, and speak to them and speak to the souls that are punished for not keeping the Torah to reincarnate into them. And all the speech of all of the birds, same thing. He goes in Sharach HaKodesh, talking about with the birds, how especially with them many things were revealed to them, secrets and decrees in heaven. And all the speech of all of the types of angels. He's always talking to all the angels, could see them, understand everything, talk to them. He knew the wisdom of the parts of this is saying, he knew the wisdom from the Zohar about how to look at a person's face, and based on the details, he would know everything about them. And he knew all of the actions of people, everything that they had ever done in their life, everything that they would do. He was always right. He knew all the thoughts of people, every thought they were having, and even thoughts they were going to have before they even had them. He knew it. He knew everything that was going to happen in the future. He knew everything that was happening in the present moment in the world. And he knew what was constantly being decreed in heaven, all the decrees, and then they would happen to people personally and the whole world. He knew all the wisdom of reincarnation, which is a big part of Judaism. People didn't know that. It's all the secrets of reincarnation. He knew who was a new soul and an old soul. He knew everything about all their past lives, and all the way back to the moment their soul was created and where it was rooted on the supernal man and the original Adam reached on the first man, physicality. He knew all the secrets of fires. He would look at a fire and he would know wondrous things from them. He would know things happening and secrets and decrees from looking at a fire. He would look with his own eyes and he would see the souls of tzaddikim, of the righteous ancient people, ancient ones and recent ones that had died, all the great spiritual masters. He would sometimes see them. He would see a grave that sometimes even maybe not even marked. He would know where it was. He would see it from like a mile away and already be talking to the soul of that person learning secrets. He would learn with all these souls of the great spiritual masters in heaven. He would learn the wisdom of the Kabbalah with them and other secrets. He knew just by smelling a person that everything they'd ever done, just like the Yenuka, special child with this gift in the Zohar, And just as we learn in the Zohar that the Messiah, Mashiach, and David will also be able to do this. He knew all of these wisdoms that he just said, and he was able to do all these things. And he had them in a way like he didn't have to like meditate and try to bring it up and try. He didn't have it like he had it at his fingertips whenever he wanted, and immediate, with no effort. They saw these things with their eyes, and we haven't seen anything like this since Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. This happened 500 years ago. This is in the 1500s here, and they saying, and that was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai who wrote the Zohar was 2,000 years ago, so 1,500 years ago from then. Said there hasn't been anybody like that. And we learned that he revealed that he was a reincarnation of him, who was a reincarnation of Moses, that soul, the soul of the Messiah. Said all of this he obtained not with kabbalah maseh, not with practical magical kabbalah, which is, it's a whole thing about that. He explains about that it's real magical kabbalah, and there's a whole thing of it, and it's very good and holy. However, we're not pure enough. It's actually right now the parsha in the Torah, the portion of the Torah, Chukat, talking about the red cow, paraduma, how to purify from the impurity of being exposed to death, dead bodies. And we don't have that without the temple. We can't do that. It may be speedily rebuilt right now. So we can't do practical Kabbalah right now. So he didn't do that. He got it all. How? How did he do it? He says just by his piousness, by his purity, by his hard work, he obtained all of these abilities. He did it all. It was just gifts that God, Hashem, gave him. It says that he had, like I said, Elijah the prophet, Eliyahu Navi, revealed himself to him and taught him face to face many years all the secrets. We learn also in Sharach Kodesh how Eliyahu Navi or angels in Shemaim or the other messengers of God would let him know if he got one detail wrong. Anything he was learning and teaching was wrong, he was told. Which means every single thing that he taught was confirmed by God through his vehicles, the holy angels and the prophets in heaven. So we see from this that a person can achieve this. If they're Jewish and they go in the ways of Torah, and they in the ways of the Kabbalah, ways of the Arizal, and keep all the laws, do tshuva, the rectifications to fix the sins that damage themselves and their souls. We learn from the Arizal that by not keeping the Torah, it is hurting their soul. It's not completing their soul. And they have to reincarnate for it. And they suffer. And they can't achieve their full potential. So many people, they're focused, on the suffering, and I don't care about the suffering, I don't care, blah, blah, but what about the potential? Their full potential in the present moment. Same thing with health. People say, who cares about health? And those that follow my classes know I teach health. Okay, they say, I don't care, I'll get sick in the future, I don't care about that. But what about your full potential right now? You're going to be so much higher if you are healthy now, if you are keeping God's ways now, if you are trying your best to purify and go in the way of God, in the way of the true spiritual masters like the Arizal now. And he teaches that the Jews do tshuva, repentance. Going, it really means return to the truth, our true way. And they see the truth of the Kabbalah, how sweet every single commandment is, how many secrets there are behind all of them, and what happens when you learn Torah. Learning Torah and praying is creating angels. Doing the mitzvot, the commandments, is creating angels. And if a person really fixes their sins, the blocks, gets rid of the evil things, shells that go on them, and they don't know they're there, but they are there. The ones giving them those bad thoughts. I think those thoughts, that depression, that anxiety, that anger, those bad thoughts in your head, you think they're from you? No, they're from evil things. And there's a purpose for all the evil. It's temporary. We learn that. In the end, it's all going to go away. But for now, again, another thing. Why? Back to that. You could say, it's all going to go away in the end. Everybody's going to be okay in the end. But what about now? Do you want to be the people going down to the pit of hell? God forbid. Or worse, people, they can't go there, and they have to reincarnate into the trees, into the animals and things, and suffer and suffer. It's not fun. God forbid. Instead, reach your full potential now. If somebody's a Jew and they do their proper rectifications, you can email me, ask how to do that. And they learn Torah and they come to Israel. They can help bring the rectification of the world now and all the suffering in the whole world now. Reach their full potential and their closeness to God now. That's what we're here to do. And this is why we should take it seriously. When you see that people like this, not just him, Reb Eli Melech from Milizhensk, the great master a few hundred years ago, one of the students of the Maggid in the Baal Shem Tov, he taught that every single of one of the halachic rabbis, the rabbis writing down the laws in Judaism, all the way through the Shulchan Aruch and the Magen Avraham commentary on the main books of our laws, they all had Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration and prophecy like things, like this, and they all were learning with Eliyahu Navi, Elijah the prophet, and Rabbi Yosef Karo, who wrote our books of, who wrote the Shulchan Aruch and was one of the main ones that were found in Halacha. He was learning with an angel, and this angel, he learned so many things from him. He wrote a book of Kabbalah based on what he learned from him. This is the real Judaism, the Judaism that you haven't seen. This is the real thing. This is the real desire of God. And the Jews see this. They see that secrets behind the Torah. And we learn that if all the Jews come back to Israel, more than half of them will get real prophecy back, the full thing. The Messiah will get prophecy. We'll have the Geula, the redemption, the rectification of the whole world, all the suffering of all the non-Jews and Jews, everybody in every creation. The whole creation will go away. All the lies and deception, suffering is going to go away. It's going to be a revelation of truth and love, God, unity. It's going to be amazing. So look more into the Arizal. Check out with Kabbalah what he says. He says about how we should keep the laws and what we should do and how to fix not keeping them, and that's to learn the Torah and to come live in the land of Israel, no matter what's going on. And to see that really we're all one, we're all connected, and the evil side's job is to stop the Jews from wanting to keep the Torah and make the non-Jews want to not like the Jews. So let's fight against that, join together in love and truth, fix the world.